Namaskar, Rakshak from the NFL Masala podcast, where we talk about all the latest happenings in the NFL with a little bit of spice. I am actually joined with a special guest. You may know him as the Anderson Cooper, the Adam Schefter, and the Ian Rappaport of NFL Masala, bringing in the latest breaking news. I am joined by my dear friend, Mr. Abishek Ramani. How are you doing today?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Today is a very special, and as you know, next week is the NFL draft, where lots of college prospects wanting to see if they can make their dreams to the NFL come true. So today we'll be using the PFF site, and we will be doing a one-round mock draft. And this time there'll not be any trades because apparently it's like locked in for that, which should be okay in that case. With that, let me share the screen and get started. So, with that, did we have any? So, while I'm setting up the screen, the shared screen and the draft, do we have any breaking the market news, Abhishek?
I think I don't think there was much. I know we saw Will Anderson get paid big dollars today. I think it was 3 years, $100 million straight, or $100 million guaranteed. He got the bank. Let me pull. I might be missing the exact amount, but I know it was a 3-year, $150 million deal. About $100 million guaranteed, so that's about $50 million a year, which surpasses Micah Parsons, and is now the highest paid non-quarterback. So he's now passed Jamar Chase, who I think was at 45 or something like that. Or
I
if
don't
I'm
remember
correct,
the exact deal.
I don't remember. I think Chase is around 40 plus, and now Will Anderson Jr. is now going to be $50 million.
Think that
so it was Micah Parsons that was paid out $46.5 million. Sorry, not Jamar Chase. 46.5, and now and he was the highest paid non QB. Now Anderson's number one with the $50 million per year.
That is incredible.
And that'll be really fun to watch because I think just looking back, he's a solid player. I think he was one of the bigger reasons why the Texans were a really good team this past year. That defense was unstoppable. I am interested to see a lot of these players that are going to be coming in soon that are want to get that top dollar. Aiden Hutchinson's deal, the 4/180, looks amazing right now, right? And the Lions are a great team. TJ Watt's deal is awesome. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you got to be lucky, like that you end up like on a contract year or you're up for a deal and you're a solid player, because next thing you know, you can get paid top dollar. So congrats to him. Great deal. And we'll see. Next up, I know the Texans got a lot coming up because they also got to pay CJ Stroud as well if they want to go forward with him, which is a big question mark.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think like knowing what we saw with CJ Stroud like last year, it was a very, very big regression. And yes, there were wide receivers that were being injured left and right, but it's a QB. Like you have to know how to adapt in situations like this. And he didn't do a good job.
He played very subpar. The defense carry. We saw that game versus the Bills. Where Josh Allen could not even take a step back without getting destroyed by that D-line. The problem is, and I think what left everyone a sour taste about CJ Stroud is that horrific playoff game, right? I mean, your defense is, all you have to do is make one drive, you win the game, right? You had the chance of bringing the Texans to, now you, in hindsight, would have been in the Super Bowl because the Broncos with Jarrett Stidham would have never had a chance, right?
You can't replicate someone like the Nick Foles thing. You honestly can't. Yeah. Which was like lightning in a bottle at that time.
Yeah, and I think Nick Foles also had a couple weeks to ramp up. I mean, we were talking Jarrett Stidham hasn't taken a single snap in 2 years and was told to play the AFC Championship game. So that is crazy. I mean, the Texans this was, I think, their only year and probably their only chance to ever make a Super Bowl. Because I don't see him doing it unless you get a season where Joe Burrow's hurt, Patrick Mahomes is hurt, Josh Allen gets knocked out of the playoffs like earlier. So I mean, the Lamar Jackson didn't make the playoffs. So I think there's a lot of sour taste for CJ Stroud because he was destined to make that Super Bowl. And think about it, how awesome would that Super Bowl have been? The Seahawks versus the Texans, two amazing ass defenses.
It would have been. It would have been like really good. I would have loved to see how CJ Stroud would have go up against the dark side, which is like what this defense was. And unfortunately, we didn't get that because CJ Stroud played very poorly playoff game, and Seahawks in. They did what Sam Darnold did what he needed to do, and
the rest is history, right? I mean, they're now Super Bowl champions, so
100%.
Yeah.
So I know. I think like John Placente will be joining in shortly, from what I've heard, from what I saw in the messages. But with that being said, this is we're using PFF's first via PF's. I can't speak. You're using PFF's mock draft simulator. Unfortunately, we don't have that free trial, so we're just going to do it with no trades, assuming normalcy happens. This is normalcy at its best. So, are you ready for this, Abishek?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. On the clock, the Raiders. Starting now.
So
Raiders.
I'm curious. Before we start this, sorry, I just found a link. I don't know if they do allow some kind of trades if you want to try it out.
Well, you know what? Let's do it. I like it.
I just sent it on our group text if you want to.
Awesome.
All right. Do you want me to text in this chat here?
Yeah, you can put it in the chat.
Let's see if this works. Awesome. Be interesting. I haven't ever tried one with trades, so this will be fun. I don't expect a lot of trades, but let's see how we draft this, and we can see what we come out with.
Whoops, wrong one. I did. Okay. That happened. 1 second. Mock draft hero. Okay, perfect. It should. Let me see.
And when you once you share your screen, there is a
I think like my computer rebooted for. I think like storage is going off at my end. So
do you want me to? Oh.
Sorry about that, folks. Do you mind if you share your screen on this one? I think.
Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. Appreciate it. All days.
I need to make sure I share the right window. I don't want to be like you.
Awesome. No worries. All good.
Okay. So let's look at this.
Okay, I see it.
I had some notes pulled up here. Give me 1 quick second.
No worries. And I wonder, and like while we're getting this ready, I'm very curious to see how will Mel Kiper go off.
Who is he gonna cream on this year, right?
And I think we need. It'll be very funny for that. Like he's gonna go insane. That's all there is. One way or another. All right. So are we ready?
So yep. The draft is open. On the clock is the Las Vegas Raiders. Personally, to me, this is a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. So we could just do 1 and 2.
I think Fernando Mendoza is going number 1, and I don't think that's even a question that should be even had.
Yeah.
Anyone who thought that getting Kirk Cousins would be a change, I think you're in denial. Because that's not the case. I mean, you wouldn't do that. If you never let go of a player that's on top. Like, again, whether I truly don't believe that Fernando Mendoza is a great QB, right? I don't think he is. in terms of the prospects that have come in the past. He's not gonna be day one. He's not gonna be Joe Burrow. He's not gonna be a who's someone that started from day one. Like uh, any of the top QBs that Deshaun Watson, right? Deshaun Watson started from day one. Like people like
Yeah.
that. Like you're not gonna get that from Fernando Mendoza. And I think signing Kirk Cousins was an amazing, amazing signing for them.
Hmm.
And now this gives the kid more time to get reps, um, to learn behind Kirk, and it looks like Kirk has accepted the fact that he will help in the progress of teaching Fernando Mendoza. I mean, dude's banking no matter what, so why wouldn't you, right? So
Oh yeah.
it's a win-win. So I think this is a no-brainer.
Hmm. Awesome. Now, number two, I think this is where it'll get very interesting because I've heard reports that I think the Jets actually tried to schedule a visit with my guy from Texas Tech, David Bailey,
Mhm.
Edge. Apparently, I think it was reported that he rejected that visit. So, I mean, I think like obviously you would want to reinforce that defensive line because that's like the Jets head coach Aaron Glenn's like bread and butter. Um, I would also think that maybe you look at someone like Arvell Reese from Ohio State. I think I saw one mock draft in which like he was. I think like not only was he like a good outside linebacker, but he could play. He could also play. He's also a pretty good defensive edge. So my thinking is, as much as David Bailey hates it, this is. I think this will be his. I think you could. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like with Aaron Glenn, does he? He tends to go like a little bit like 4-3 or 3-4, and also like with Arvell Reese, they would like to look up to a little bit more. I mean, they'll take like potential like over college production. That's what the Jets would try and do. So, but here's my take. I think David Bailey will still even though he rejected a thing from the Jets, he's still going to be a Jet either way. So, David Bailey, you are a Jet.
Yeah, I think this is a toss up between, because last year they drafted a offensive tackle in Armand Membo. So I don't think that they would go back again to get another, offensive tackle in from Francis Mauigoa. Sorry, I might be pronouncing this wrong, from Miami.
Yeah.
Um, and I personally think it's too early to grab um, Carnell Tate. I think it's way too early to do that at number two. Mainly when the Jets they have ammo. They are coming back in the 16th pick. They could move up if they feel like they need that pick to get Carnell Tate if they really want that. Um, I agree. I think they're going to go David Bailey.
All right. Well, let's lock it in. And also another thing for the Jets. They were 31st in sacks last season, and it was the 27th in pressure rate at 28.8%. David Bailey led the FBS in pressure rate 20.2, and he was tied for the league in sacks 14.5 last season. So even though he hates it, he will be a good impact player for the Jets. So we already got that. Now for the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals need to reinforce something that they haven't done when Kyler Murray is quarterback, and just put an offensive line in front of him. The poor guy, even though he was 5'11", barely 6 foot, he couldn't get any protection. I mean, they banked on the fact that he was very mobile, like he would run around, he would do all that stuff. But in the NFL today, you need that pocket passer, and they couldn't do that for Kyler Murray. They still couldn't do that for Jacoby Brissett, and Brissett is more of a pocket passer than anyone else, right?
Right.
I personally think that they're going to go offensive tackle. I think they're going to go the guy from Miami, Francis Mauigoa.
Ooh, that would be he's like the top rated like
He's a top rated offensive tackle. I think, you gotta go and get that guy. For me, I believe that they do that, but also at the same time, I would not be shocked that they also pick up defense because
Arvel Reese.
They were shit on both sides. So I mean, you really
Yeah.
can't go wrong anywhere you go, right?
Mhm.
I think again, going back to, I'm not sure what kind of free agent moves. Do you remember what free agent moves Arizona made?
I don't think like the Cardinals made any like outstanding free agent moves at best. I know like
I think
Joshua wanted out because of how bad that defense was.
Yeah, so they signed Devin Duvernay at wide receiver. They actually did draft, or sorry, not draft. They signed Devin Duvernay to a 1 year contract. They also got Steelers guard Isaac Siomalo.
As a
Um,
Malo.
yep, they signed him. They also got Tyler Algier from the Falcons. They also signed Kendrick Bourne from the 49ers, Gardner Minshew at QB, Andrew Wingard at safety. They did lose Jalen Thompson to the Cowboys, so that's huge right there. Um, Bam Knight, they re-signed. They also signed Matt Pryor, former Eagle, to a 1 year deal. So they have made some moves, to fit that defense. They got Andrew Billings at D tackle. They also fit that defensive tackle. Um, Honestly, I think the Cardinals are one of those teams that they could also trade down if I'm them. Um,
I would not
I
be
would
surprised.
consider that.
But I would also think about this too. If you look at what the Cardinals defense, like I think like with Mike LaFleur, I think he would also want someone like that could also come up from the edge and the defense and linebacker side. And remember, like the Cardinals, they were bottom 5 in pressure rate, 28.5%. This is according to Mel effing Kiper. I'm reading through his mock draft analysis and I'm just trying to make sense of it at the moment. But like Arvel Reese coming in at number 3, it's like, I think like, here's my thought. If the Jets go Arvel Reese, the Cardinals could go David Bailey. Either way.
Yeah, I think
Just
that's interchangeable. I think if I think they take David Bailey if he falls to number 3 and they don't trade that pick away.
yeah.
The Cardinals and to me 3, 4, and 5, like so from the Cardinals, the Titans, the Giants, and the Browns are in a very unique position. They have the ability to get more assets for that pick.
Mhm. Yep.
Mainly, I think the Giants are a solid team for a trade. I know we're not there yet, but the Cardinals, you were awful last year. You need young talent. Um, you got rid of your what you called your franchise quarterback. You paid him over $200 million. You got rid
Yeah.
of him, and I believe that this is just going to be another tank year, right? You're going to be banking on the fact that, um, and I'm saying tank year, but who knows if they're going to go after Ty Simpson, right? Who knows about that?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
this just seems if Ty Simpson's not part of that conversation, this seems like tank for Arch Manning, right? Like
Oh
let's see
my
who can
god.
go get him. So if I'm the Cardinals, if you don't believe you're going to be picking up a quarterback in this draft or what you see your franchise QB, you got to build around that team to give that team a chance to do something, right?
Right.
For the kid. And so I think you could go either way, Arvo Reese or offensive tackle. Um, I'm down to do whatever you think. I mean, what are you feeling?
I think like I think you could go Arvel Reese.
Oh, this is cool. This is
Oh,
also shows a proposed trade that the Cowboys could probably try to jump to the Cardinals at
they
number
could.
3 if getting rid of their number 12 pick and the 20th pick that came from the Micah Parsons trade for pick number 3
Oh
and
my.
the round 3 pick. But also Cincinnati has put in an offer for the number 3 pick for the 10th pick and a round
Ah.
2 pick. That is very interesting. I think if
They-
Cincinnati considered doing that to rebuild that defense, that would be really cool to do.
I also think they could do that too because remember they just lost Trey Hendrickson. They need
You
someone to
did
fill in
just
that
as
spot, so that could happen.
and honestly, I could see that imagine if David Bailey fell to
Oh
number
my!
3,
I would be
right?
very shocked by that.
I if the Jets don't take it, I wouldn't be shocked if the Cardinals spent the entire how long is it? 10 minutes now, right? The
Mhm.
10 minutes on the clock, they are literally going to milk every single human being who wants that. Um,
Yeah.
okay, we can try out a trade. Who do you think's going to trade for it?
I
Or do you
think
think the Cardinals are going to just take their pick?
if I'm Mike LaFleur and entering into this first system, you don't want to trade anything else. You want a cornerstone to start that defense or that offense. And I would say take best player available. Oliver Reese is right there. You pair him next to Josh Sweat at the edge because you could also play at that spot too. Works well.
No. All right. Number 4, the Tennessee Titans. This becomes interesting now.
Now, first things first. I hate the new logo. What the hell is it? It's stupid. It's like someone took a crayon and someone got high, took a crayon, started coloring and scribbling all outside the fucking lines, and it's like saying, "Oh, here's your new logo." Tennessee just went like AWOL on that shit. That's my mini Rakshak rant on that logo. But I think like if you're building an offense for Cam Ward, who are the running backs? Tony Pollard, Michael Carter, and someone else. They need a good number 1 running back. They got to go Jeremiah Love. I know, but hear me out. There has not been like a good number 1 running back since Saquon Barkley was taken. And I think like having a good dynamic running back who can not only like power through good shifty moves and also be a good pass catcher, Jeremiah Love can fill that role and help out Cam Ward tremendously. That's my take on it.
I am so stung by picking running back so early because we see him fizzle out so quickly. Ezekiel Elliott comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
He was a former number 4 pick from Ohio State. Obviously, he balled out for the first 3 out of the 4 years for the Cowboys. He was top 3 running back. Led the league in yards, and he was awesome. But running backs are. I mean, you love running backs. I mean, but there's no matter what, the league always undervalues them.
Yeah.
So this is a really tough spot for me. But while we're thinking about this, let's look at what trade offers came in.
Let's show us the money.
So Carolina is willing to. Carolina would receive the number 4 pick and give up and a round 3 pick. The Titans would receive a first-round pick, a second-round pick, a fourth-round pick, and next year's first.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think what would the Cardinals really try to go for? They would try to build their defense, right? So they would try to think Sonny Styles or for Caleb Downs.
I think like if Cardinals want to do that, Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles, either one would be really good.
Or not Cardinals, the Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers. Like on their defensive side, they just got Jalen Phillips. They just got Jalen Phillips. So like their edge is a bit okay. But I would think like what else are the Panthers saying? So they basically need safety.
The Panthers need a safety. I think if they made that trade, they're going for
Caleb Downs.
Not Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs if they really wanted to do that.
And no, Trayvon Moehrig and Nick Scott, backed up by Lathan Ransom and Damani Richardson. I don't know if I could trust that secondary unless you're banking on JC Horn being super healthy, along with Mike Jackson and Charles Smith-Wade. It doesn't sound very impressive at that point. So maybe they make that trade. But if I'm the Titans, I think you would like. I'm gonna be the crazy one saying like I would say you go Jeremiah Love or hell you go wide receiver. Actually build someone to help out over Cam Ward. And speaking of which,
they did sign Wan'Dale Robinson, so they did put. Again, Wan'Dale Robinson isn't great. I think he's sort of overrated, but he banked on a really great year with the Giants. But talking about free agent moves, they did sign major pieces. They did get Jalen Phillips. They did also sign Devin Lloyd. They did add Rasheed Walker, obviously signed Kenny Pickett. They did make some moves. Obviously, not Wan'Dale Robinson. That's the Titans. Sorry, I'm talking about the Panthers right now. The Panthers did make some moves that can warrant that if they're trying to go all in. And again, you have to remember, this is one of the weakest divisions in, I think, the NFL. So if you're really banking on the fact that Bryce Young is going to take that next step or go one more step higher, and this is Bryce Young's contract year. Let's talk about that. He's going to want to
Oh,
ball
right.
out to get that 250, 280 plus deal, right? So I think the Panthers could make the move. I think we're seeing the New Orleans Saints are also
Yeah.
thinking of
I
doing
mean,
it.
like they have like a ton of. I don't know how much like Kellen Moore, how many draft picks like the Saints have at the moment, but I know like they're trying to secure everything for Tyler Shug. But
Yeah.
if they are, but like since they have like the eighth pick, I think like they
You
should
could
be
wait.
offensive
You could
line.
wait. I mean, if it were me, I think they need to find the replacement for Cam Jordan. They need to also rebuild that defense. The
Yeah.
defense needs to come back. And I think giving away assets like this, like a second and a fourth, is not worth it to build a defense. I think you
Mhm.
stay put at 8, and you potentially could get Bain at number 8. Um, so I think you don't have to worry about that. And then one of the, of course, the Rams are willing to
FM
offer
picks.
the 13th, the first round pick, the second round pick, a third round pick, and next year's second for the 4th overall pick and round 4. I think this is just going all in.
Mhm.
The Rams, I think, they don't really need a lot. I mean, they just got unlucky versus the Seahawks, right? But
Yeah.
you can never go wrong with obviously offensive weapons for Matt Stafford, and obviously the defense pairing with Byron Young and all of them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they want to go for Sonny Styles as well. I think he's up there that you'd want to go for. And I think the reason why I think it's a very smart idea for teams under the Cowboys to jump
Mhm.
up to get Sonny Styles is because the Cowboys want Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs, right?
Yeah.
You
I thought
know
this.
we want them. So and the one who is, and we already know number 5, the Giants aren't going to trade with the Cowboys. So
They're
for me, whoever, if the Titans end up trading away number 4 for to any of these teams below that need a safety or a linebacker, you
Mhm.
already know that Jerry Jones is going to put in a fucking call to Cleveland and be like, I need Caleb Downs, or I need Sonny Styles. You better give him to me, like, right? Um, but if you do you want to do a trade, or do you think that the Titans are going to pick?
I like. I think all these scenarios are like very possible, but if I'm like a betting man, I honestly don't think the Titans. I don't think the Titans will trade. They're gonna probably stick, and I'm
Mhm.
just. I think they just go with their gut and they say like Jeremiah Love is their guy. They need a running back to help him out, to help Cam Ward in the backfield, and not let him take a bunch of sacks. So that's my take
All
on it.
right,
But you could go either way.
let's do best player on the board. Jeremiah Love. No trades as of now.
Yep.
All
And
right.
now the Giants, we know easy. They gotta go. They need linebacker. They will definitely go linebacker, Sonny Styles or Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Either one is good.
Either one is good. I think um, with John Harbaugh, I forgot his name for a second. John Harbaugh, obviously new head coach for the Giants. He awesome signing for him. We know that um, he loves defense. He knows what a middle linebacker would do for a team. He did coach Ray Lewis. He's had some great middle linebackers and CJ Mosley also.
Oh yeah.
He knows how important that quarterback of that defense has got to be. And with Jackson Dart being in year 2 now, coming off an
Mm-hmm.
injury, um, obviously you got Malik Neighbors coming back from an injury. You got
Cam Scotabo.
Cam Scotabo coming back from an injury. I don't think there's even a conversation. You got to take the best player on the board. I think
BBA.
that is Sonny Styles. However, let's look at some trades
Yeah.
if they did consider it. The Cleveland Browns want to move up 1 pick. They're willing to give up. The Browns would receive the number 5, move up 1 spot, and next year's round 1 for
Oh.
pick number 6, pick number 2, or a round 2 pick, and a 3rd round pick. Very interesting. I don't think the Giants would be willing to give up next year's
They are not gonna.
first round.
They're going to stay at this. They're probably going to stay at this one unless it's
Yep.
like very, very enticing. Tampa Bay. Let's see what they got.
I personally, to me, I don't think the Giants give up 2027 round one because the way Jackson Dart plays, he might get hurt no matter what. So I don't know how much you'd be willing to get rid of that pick.
Right.
Tampa Bay, it
Mhm.
wants to receive the number 5 pick, and they will give the Giants a round 1, a round 2, and a round 4.
More draft ammo.
More draft ammo for this year.
Hmm.
And looking back at what the Buccaneers need, we obviously saw how their season ended. They need a linebacker as well.
Yeah.
They need an edge rusher, and they also need a DB. So, um, to me, I don't know why the Giants would want to let another NFC team get Sonny Styles if they could just get him themselves. So, um, really depends on who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would want to pick, but I don't think that trade would happen. And the New Orleans Saints. This looks very enticing. The Saints would receive the number 1 pick, or the
Mhm.
5th round pick. Sorry, the pick number 5, a round 2 pick, and the Giants would receive round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. This
Basically,
is sorry. Go ahead.
no. I'm just saying, like, this could be the one thing like John Harbaugh might want Joe Shane will jump on,
Mm-hmm.
but John Harbaugh's gonna say no. I want to build something
I
around
want
on my
Sonny
defense.
Styles.
He's gonna get Sonny Styles. Let's just.
I think he's going to take Sonny Styles.
Yeah, we know that.
All right,
Yeah.
number 6. So
Cleveland.
now we know. I think I already know what's going to happen here. I
What do you
think
think?
I think Sonny Styles is going to fall off the board, and Jerry Jones is going to pull the plug, and he's going to say, "I need Caleb Downs," and he's going to give up the 12th and the 20th pick for Caleb Downs. He's going to go all in on this.
Yeah, let's check out the trades.
Oh, I guess the Cowboys don't even want to trade for it. But I guess the Rams are willing to to get the 1st and the 5th, and they're willing to give up a round 1, round 2, round 3 pick. The Commanders want to move up 1 pick apparently, and they're willing to give up next year's 3rd round pick. I don't know why they would want to do that, unless they really believe that I really never understood teams moving up 1 spot. It makes no sense to me. Mainly when the needs don't match. The Raiders are willing to take 6 and go 2, 3, 4, and next year's 2027. I don't think this is going to be it.
No, I do not think the Raiders will do that.
I don't think this is a smart move because if you're going to draft Fernando Mendoza, you want to use every single pick to build a team around him. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me for them to do that. Another trade that I think one could consider is the Titans might want to jump back in to the fold, give up a 2nd, a 3rd, a 5th round, and next year's 1st. This really depends on how they view the upcoming season.
Yeah.
Do they believe that they're going to be better than the Texans and the Jags and the Colts? The Colts are a question mark, obviously, coming back. Daniel Jones coming back from a torn Achilles. The Jags obviously lost Travis Etienne, but we don't know. They're the division winners, obviously, so you can't count them out. And I think the Texans won the division. Sorry, or the Jags.
It could be the Texans or the Jags.
It was the Jags because the Bills went in and beat them. But the Texans obviously are still going to be an elite defense. So I don't know how much the Titans believe that. I don't know how they'd be willing to give up next year's 1st. So.
Yep.
Do you think the Browns are going to trade this, or should we propose a trade to the Cowboys?
I mean, what would the Cowboys? Let's see what would the Cowboys want, or if they want to.
I think the Cowboys are just going to give these 2 up. I think they're going to give up their first 2 round picks, the top 2 picks.
I mean, to go ahead and get Caleb Downs. I mean, they do need safety because I think like with Malik Hooker and Markel Bell getting caught.
No. You can't do that. And I know they want a linebacker, but if the Giants aren't going to let Sonny Styles slip past them if he's available.
And here's the thing, and I know I'm going to get really irked about this, but the new defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, he is a secondary guy. He wants to build like the way that the Philadelphia Eagles won the 2024-2025 season and that Super Bowl was not only with that pass rush, but he had a strong secondary, like building pieces around with Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and of course, luckily with Reed and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And
Mhm.
I think with this group, the Cowboys should definitely look at safety, honestly, because Trayvon Diggs is already gone. I also think like
Well, we did
defense,
sign Jalen Thompson, by the way, at
you
safety.
did sign Jalen
So,
Thompson.
so you want to pair someone with Jalen Thompson back there.
Malik Hooker is
This is
not Malik Hooker can't be it.
no, and I also think that if we move away from this box real quick, I also think another thing to think about with the Giants, and I mean, we can undo it if after what I say, but I also don't think the Giants are, I think, in a really tough spot. There's 3 Ohio State players that they could go with, and no one would be upset with them. They
Yeah.
need a number 2 behind Malik Neighbors, so they could go Carnell Tate. They
Mhm.
do need a linebacker for Sonny Styles, but I think we all know. So this is where it's hard for me to decide is because John Harbaugh has had Ray Lewis, and he's also, I believe, he coached Ed Reed for a
Ed
little
Reed,
bit.
yeah.
And so he knows what a quarterback for the front and a quarterback for the back means.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if he goes Caleb Downs, obviously I think the Cowboys will bite and try to get Sonny Styles. I think the winner in this is the Cowboys because I think
Yeah,
you're going to
honestly.
get the best out of the two. Um, I mean, who knows? Maybe if Caleb down if Sonny Styles goes here, the Browns are like, screw that. I want Caleb Downs, right?
Mhm.
But if I'm the Browns, I think you got to recoup more assets in this first round because again, you have the 24th pick from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And it'll
So
be
you
like
have
a
the
long
ability.
season.
Yeah, and you have the ability if you trade this from the Cowboys and get the 2 first-round picks, you have
Mhm.
3 first-round picks this entire draft. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I would take that.
I Let's propose a trade. Let's see.
Let's
Mel
do it.
Kiper
Yep.
also believed it was going to happen, so
Yeah.
let's see.
Actually, he had like the
He
Cowboys going for Sonny Styles at number 6.
did. All right,
Yep.
so
Since the
we're going to
Giants are
say the
cheating, we go Caleb
Cowboys
Downs.
are going to take Caleb Downs, and I
Yep.
love that. I love that for the Cowboys. Being a Cowboys fan myself, it's about damn time that we got a safety back there. Someone who's a ball hawk, someone who's a quarterback for the defense, who can
Christian
read.
Parker is gonna have a lot of fun.
It's
I
going
will
to be
say.
really fun. I like this. I like what Brian Schottenheimer is bringing in, the culture that he's got coming into Dallas. He's now no more. Yes, the Jerry Jones cloud is always going to be there, but he's still coaching the way he wants to coach, and I'm really excited about that. And this will be a great, I think,
Oh, definitely a good
if
addition.
they do it. All right,
All
the
right,
Commanders.
easy. Debo is on an expiring contract. You don't know how long Scary Terry is going to be playing for. Get someone to help out Jalen Daniels. Obvious choice, go Carnell Tate.
I think it's Carnell Tate. I don't think you go anywhere else, and I don't think they even consider trading with anyone else or even having
Oh
a
hell no! You
conversation.
do not trade. You never trade with the Chiefs for another wide receiver. Hell no! Don't do that shit.
I think Carnell Tate's gone here.
Yeah,
The Saints. I think this is very straightforward. I think they're going to go Ruben Bain.
yeah.
I think they need an edge. That's one of their top priorities. Can also look at potential trades if they want to look at it. The Panthers.
Panthers.
I doubt they're going to trade within their own
Why would they
division.
trade with an NFC South?
Nope.
Makes no sense.
The Browns apparently want to get rid of, basically trade the Cowboys number 12 pick and a round 3 for pick number 8. That's kind of enticing, honestly. That's still I don't think the Vegas Raiders are going to give up round 2, round 3,
No.
and next year. And the Niners are willing to
Oh,
give up round 1, 2, 4, and next year's 2. With how much money that the Niners have invested in Purdy, Kittle, Bosa, um, and Christian McCaffrey, and now obviously there's a flux with Trent Williams. I think this is probably why the Niners are considering it. Maybe they want to draft an offensive tackle and potentially Trent Williams is gone next year,
yeah.
or this offseason, but I don't think you want to get rid of any assets like this.
You just don't. Which is why I don't think like the Saints. I think the Saints will stick. They'll probably go best player available. They could go O line to help out with Tyler Shuck, but also you could also reinforce the defensive line. So either Ruben Bain or Francis Malgao, either guys from Miami work well for me.
Yeah, and I was just reading up. CBS apparently has. So um, we have Fernando Mendoza 1, 2. They had David Bailey. They had 3 Francis Malgoa go to the
Oh,
Cardinals. Um, They believe that locking down that right side of the offensive line with Paris Johnson on the other side allows the Cardinals to set a foundation. I think that's very true.
Mhm.
They actually had the Titans going Arvell Reese, best player on the board. You got to get an edge. Even though they do need help for Cam Ward, they still need to get. And remember, they signed Robert Saleh as a coach, so he's a defensive-minded guy. Um,
100%. Yeah.
so you do need to, stack up on defensive talent. CBS does have Sonny Styles going to the New York Giants. They do actually have, I think everyone believes this is going to happen, but they do believe the Cowboys are going to send the number 12, number 20, and a day 3 pick to Cleveland for the number 6, and they believe a number 39 to snag Caleb Downs. This is really interesting. They have Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders.
Oh,
They
what?
believe the idea of taking a running back this high in the draft makes everyone queasy, but some general managers don't care. Pairing Love with Jaden Daniels might be very enticing for them to pass up,
Oh,
which
100%.
then leads Carnell Tate coming to the Saints.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
mean,
why you'd want to let the Saints get Carnell Tate and Chris Olave if he's healthy. That's an awesome pairing for
that would
Tyler
be a
Shook.
good deal, but which
But
is
in
why
our
it
world, I don't think this is going to happen. But
doesn't work like that. And you know what? I think like they could, because you said Cam Jordan might be looking at is like out, so they need edge. I think you go best player, Ruben Baines.
yeah, I think you go Ruben Bain.
And now we go to Kansas City. Everyone, they're talking about a wide receiver to help out with their boy Xavier Worthy. And I've heard the rumors. Shall we entertain them? Jordan Tyson. Everyone is saying Jordan Tyson.
I think they're going to go wide receiver. Again, it all depends. And we're talking about in our world currently, the way it's set up right now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how if if for somehow Ruben Bain falls to number 9, I think they take Ruben Bain because they do
Mhm.
also need defensive help.
Yeah.
But they don't have any wide receivers other than Rashee Rice and
And Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy. Kelsey's on the way out. You could go anyone here. You could go Makai Lemon or you can go Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson's a better player.
Mhm.
But let's see what they're entertaining as trades. The Miami Dolphins is willing to give up their first round and the third round pick for number 9.
Mhm.
And let's just talk about the Dolphins would be jumping up 2 picks to, I guess, get maybe they're wanting to get the offensive tackle
Yeah.
for their future for who's their quarterback? Malik Willis.
Malik
Um,
Willis. Malik Willis, they could use a wide receiver, but again, like if you're jumping up, I think the Dolphins will stay because if Jordan Tyson's gone, you have like Makai Lemon available, so I don't
but I
see the
don't think the
reason
Dolphins want a wide receiver though. They already have uh,
they just
Jalen
let go.
Waddle.
No, they gave away
Oh,
Jalen
sorry, they
Waddle.
traded away Jalen Waddle. I'm sorry, they do
They
need a wide
traded away
receiver.
Jalen Waddle to the Broncos, so it's
They
like
only have Malik Washington. I forgot about that.
yeah, the
Yeah, I
Dolphins
mean
are staying put.
they could also go. I think the Dolphins are interesting as well. Um, the Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champs, are wanting to give up round 1 to next year's round 1 and round 4 for the Seahawks number 9 and a third round pick.
Mm,
Enticing,
I doubt it.
but I doubt it. And your team, the
Philip,
Philadelphia Eagles, are willing to give up round 1, 2,
snowball
3
chance in
for the
hell.
9th pick.
Snowball's chance in hell. Howie Roseman does something like that. He will want more, and he's always about the compensatory picks. And yeah, he's not doing that. It's no chance.
Another trade idea would be potentially the Detroit Lions, giving up round 1 and round 2 uh,
Oh,
to the Chiefs, and the Lions would receive pick number 9 and a 5th round pick from
oh my
the
goodness.
Chiefs.
That
But
would
to me,
it's
what
all
would they want? Offensive tackle, you think?
I think they go. I think they could go offensive tackle because I mean, Javon Taylor, he just left to the Falcons, I believe. And
Well, no,
they
I'm
do.
talking about the Lions. I'm talking about
Oh
the
my God,
Lions. Like
yeah, the Lions. Oh my bad. Yeah, Lions do need like. I think they
they
could
don't have
definitely.
Decker anymore. They don't have. They just lost
They
Ragnow.
need OT. They need OT big time. They need
Yeah.
offensive line.
So, do you think the Chiefs would trade with the Lions to get drop down to 17, or will they take Jordan Tyson?
I think they take Jordan Tyson on this one.
All right, let's do Jordan Tyson. And
Bengals.
pre-draft, he was ranked number
Ooh,
15th. So that means they believe that they're drafting pretty high on this one. But
yeah.
going back,
Brett.
just quickly looking at Mel Kiper, he also believes Jordan Tyson's going to go there. And CBS, obviously, with the fact that they believe that the Cardinals are going to be taking offensive tackle and the Commanders taking Jeremiah Love, they believe that Ruben Bain falls to the Chiefs at number 9.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, they need serious defensive help. I don't know if anyone needs to know that. But also, you have one of the top offensive tackles sitting there on the board right now. I
Dang.
mean,
Yeah.
someone's got to protect Joe Burrow, right?
You could do also
Um,
protect Joe Burrow, but also remember, like they don't have any secondary help at
they don't.
all.
No.
I think you could go, but there's so many ways you can go. You go with the Gerard McCoy, or you could go with the best offensive lineman, Olaiva Vega Ioane. Pardon me for like butchering it, but I think I think he'd be a good pick. Ioane, he could
Yeah,
play like I think like from what I don't know if he's that person, but I think he could play like he's one of the best interior offensive line players. He can also I don't know if it's Spencer Fano who could play all 4 positions except center. So I this is really tough. You could go I think you go O line, but they also need help on secondary because their secondary is mid, especially in the corner position.
yeah. I think with how we have the board set up right now, I think um, I mean, we can quickly look at the trades while we're here. I don't think the Bengals are going to give up this pick. I don't think they should. They need talent. This is the one time that we potentially will see the Bengals pick so high up with a talent like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins on the team. So they got to
Mm.
take advantage of this. But the Jets are willing to part ways with the number 16, which is technically the Colts pick from the Sauce Gardner trade. Round four, and next year's round 4 for number 10. The Atlanta Falcons, they want to jump back into the first round. They don't have any picks this year. They want to get to the 10th, or they want to pick number 10, and they're going to give the Bengals a round 2, 3, 6, and next year's 1. They want to give up next year's 1. And then the Saints want to jump back into the first round after picking Ruben Bain. They will be willing to give up a round 2, round 3, and next year's round 1.
Mm.
In my eyes, I don't think any of these are enticing enough because you need the best player on your team right now, and when you have a player like Joe Burrow and all of them. Um, to me, I wouldn't be shocked if, and I think the consensus has Mansour Delane from LSU going out to Cincinnati.
What?
Mel Kiper, CBS, and I think a lot of people have the Bengals picking the top cornerback on the board.
I think I think you go. I think I'd be okay with Mansour Delane, but I'm still thinking like, what are we going to do with offensive tackle? But if they're even going to address it like next week, like if they have to, I mean, still the Bengals have to address it in round 2. You got to address offensive line.
You do, and I think right now they want to take the best defensive player. So I wouldn't be. I would take Mansour Delane.
Mansour Delane, it is. Let's put him in.
The Dolphins.
Wide receiver, you go Makai Lemon.
You
Easy.
think so? You think over the top offensive tackle? They have no offensive tackles, and if they're going to be
Do.
potentially picking for the future, remember this is a team that has no quarterback for the future. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
no quarterback of the future. Um, Do you go offensive tackle or do you go defense or do you go wide receiver?
Now that I think
I
about it,
I mean, honestly, to me, I think Miami is a prime candidate for trading down.
they could trade down. I mean, who would they have to trade with?
So the Philadelphia Eagles want to trade
Again, Howie
the
Roseman
20
is not going to do this shit.
round 1, 2, and 4 for the number 11 pick. Would be really interesting to see because Philly's needs of offensive tackle might be sparring this. Also, the want to get a DB now that not Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship is gone. You
Yeah,
want a DB.
and we need
Um,
tight end because Goddard's in his final is signing another year, and everyone's
but
saying
I
like,
mean,
oh,
I don't
next
think
week.
any tight end you're going to take so high up. There's not a
Or we
Tyler
could also go
Warren on
edge.
this board to go edge.
But I doubt. I mean, let's see what Chicago has.
Chicago is giving up around is willing to part ways with their number 1 pick, a 2-3
Or
for the
oh,
Bears number 11. And I think this is more of a let's go all in because they were so close yet so far away from that win versus the Rams.
mhm.
Um, do you think the Dolphins, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm taking this trade?
I would be very shocked if Jeff Hatley is okay with that trade. And John Sullivan on both Packers. And I think like Jeff Hatley being a defensive guy, he's definitely want to go. I think he would go on the edge, but he also wants to protect Malik Willis. So
But
shoot.
think about it. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins, who is pretty much on a hard reset. They
Mhm.
are the 5th best team in a 14 division. They are awful. So I mean, honestly, they're as worse as the Jets. So I mean, I don't know how much worse you could get, but I don't see why you wouldn't want to get more assets, mainly in this kind of draft, taking 1, 2, 3 from a team like the Bears. But remember, the Bears are going to be picking lower
Mhm.
because of their playoff run. But I mean,
Yep.
that's picking up more assets. You're still getting a first round pick. You're just moving down. Um, Another thought, maybe the Detroit Lions move up. But again, I don't think they're going to trade. Or sorry, this is the Lions. With the Dolphins, they could move up for the number 11 by giving up a round 1 and a 2. And again, I think that's because of the offensive tackle sitting on the board, right? Um, and the Carolina Panthers, I consider jumping 8 spots to get that round 1.
Yeah.
Do you think either one of these teams would consider doing it, or do you think the Dolphins are going to pick?
I mean, if I'm the Dolphins, I could. I mean, you're in a good position. Like, you need all the help that you can, and you need an offensive tackle. Their O line was bad in protecting Tua, and they were all I mean, they were shit, dog shit. That's your word.
No.
Um,
Yep.
so I think like, I mean, the obvious one, Francis Malgao, he's available, and I think like looking based on what I've been reading about him, like you already have Patrick Paul taking care of like once of the left tackle spot, and Austin Jackson has missed 11 games last year with the Dolphins. And they're trying to go, and I think like if Devon Achane is able to get a contract negotiated, I think they're going to try and rebuild it through the running game. And you need a good O line to also protect Malik Willis as well. I think, and also with Francis Malgao, not only is he like outside offensive tackle, I think based on his arm length from what I read, he could also be kicked into guard as well in some plays. So if they're able to pull off that versatility, then there's something. But yeah, he was a premier tackle first time all league. He allowed just 2 sacks.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
Mullen.
Let's take him. Protection. The Cleveland Browns. Let's recap. They did trade their 6th overall pick to the Dallas Cowboys for the 12th pick and the 20th pick of this draft.
Okay.
I think it's straightforward. I think they're taking Spencer Fano.
Yep.
You got offensive. You got whoever your quarterback is. I don't give a shit if it's Shador, if it's who else is there? I'm blanking.
No. It's that
Deshaun Watson. Sorry,
Deshaun Watson and that other Oregon QB.
Or Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
I don't care who it is. You got to get
OT easily.
OT. But I'm interested to see what people are willing to offer. Apparently, the Eagles really
Again,
want this
what
trade.
the fuck is happening? Yeah,
The Jets are willing to jump up 4 spots to get this, and Miami wants to come back into the draft and give them. Miami does have 2 picks this draft because of the Jalen Waddle trade. So,
oh right,
maybe the Dolphins want to jump back in, give up 1, 2, and 4. But I think the Browns, again, being a really shitty team that they are, I think they need to build with the top players that's on the board. I think you got to go Spencer Hannah.
Spencer Fano. I like that. I like that option. And now, oh my God, the Ram Mekhi Lemon is dropping, and if the Rams are able to get him, I am going to be so pissed because not only you have to deal with Puka Nacua, Demarcus Rob. I mean, it was Demarcus Robinson, right?
Demarcus Robinson. Yep.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams. God forbid. Too many sweats for Matt Stafford. It is stupid. It involves that much.
It's annoying that he has that one, but I would not be shocked, and hear me out here. I think considering the teams that are left on the board right now, let's just look at a trade. The Jets want to jump up 3 spots, giving up their Colts pick, a 4 and a 5. The Cleveland Browns want to jump back in, willing to give up the Broncos pick with with a 3 and a 5, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to move up 2 spots and give up a 4th and 6th. Right. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if the Lions try to jump up 4 spots here and try to go for Monroe Freeling, or I don't even want to try to pronounce his name.
Ioane.
Ioane. I wouldn't be surprised. What do you think?
I wouldn't be surprised either, but I think like knowing the FM pick strategy has sometimes like bailed on them a couple of times. I think they would still sit, and because with Devontae Adams, he's turning 34. He's about to be by age.
34.
He's about to be by age, and and we don't know like how healthy he's going to be and how long he's going to last. So maybe they draft his replacement, and I'm going to be pissed about it.
I mean, I think this could be this is a last ditch effort to get Matthew Stafford ring number 2. And Mekhi Lemon is just right there. And I don't know how you let that go. So I'll put Mekhi Lemon there.
Let's do it.
And that's going to be really annoying if he gets there. The Baltimore Ravens.
All right. Ravens. They literally have they need Tyler Lindenbaum's gone. You need someone to help out. You need someone to help out on the I can't say it. You need someone to help
offensive
on the line. Offensive line. Tyler Lindenbaum plays center. So I mean, I think like with Spencer Fano already being gone, I think you need. I mean, they could still
need interior line. I think you go either Ioane. But do you think they could go D tackle?
Defensive tackle. I mean, they have Nnamdi Adebike. David Ojabo. Still,
Adam DK is coming back from injury, right? If I'm correct.
I would think. Yeah, and I'm checking to see if they made any change like in their depth chart. I mean, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Devontae Walker, aka Cornelius Johnson, Andrew Voorhees is injured. Like he don't know if he's going to be starting. Ronnie Staley, Danny Pinter, John Simpson, Roger Rosengarten. For their tackles, they got Nnamdi Madubuike, Travis Jones, John Jenkins, Mike Green, Roquan, and they also got Trey Hendrickson. God forbid.
Oh yeah, they did get Trey Hendrickson. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
was supposed to be Max Crosby, but
we all know what happened.
I don't think the Baltimore Ravens would trade this pick. I think Carolina wants to jump up, give up a 1st and a 3rd.
What the
Saints
hell?
want to give up a 1st, 2nd. Ooh, this might be enticing. Ooh. But this is showing that the Saints would jump back in, and the Ravens will not pick in the 1st round. And then they would get a 2, 5 in next year's round 1. Yeah. And your guys, the Philadelphia Eagles, want to give up a first and a second for the number 1 pick and a 4th.
Oh, I mean, if they're trying, no chance in hell Philadelphia's moving up unless they. I mean, God forbid Kenyon Sadiq falls to them.
Yeah.
No chance in hell. No chance in.
Another thought, which I really hate, is and I don't think the Ravens will want to do this, but the Kansas City Chiefs, remember, they do have the 29th pick from the Rams with the trade that they made for what's his name?
Oh my God,
The
Trent
BB
McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie. So they do have the number 29 pick. They could trade the 29th pick and a round 2 for 14, or the Green Bay Packers potentially could jump up, and the Ravens would give up the Packers would then come back into the first round, because remember they traded their first round pick for Micah, and the Ravens would get a 2, a 3, and next year's first round pick.
That could happen too, yeah.
But again, I think trades this year, I think, is going to be really rare. Jesse Minter being a first time coach, right? This is his first year. I don't think he's going to want to give up the fact that he can, start his regime of building a team. So I think he go Ioane to protect Lamar Jackson.
Ioane easily. He's a very good. Yeah, I think he's like one of the best O lines, and his job at Penn State, even though like it was a mid season, they were very, very. They've been known for like developing like good O line players. So I think that's a good choice. Number 15, Tampa Bay. K-Dot, you may have re-signed K-Dotton, but you need someone alongside with Emeka Egbuka. I think they would need like a receiving tight end. You literally give away Mike Evans. I would not be, hear me out. I would not be sure, but oh my goodness. Also, Tampa Bay does need edge, so they could bring someone back from their home state.
I think they could go Akeem Mesidor
or Kendrick Falk. The thing with Mesidor, he'll be turning like 25.
He's old. He's 25. Yep. I think I don't think they're going to trade this pick away, so I'm not even going to consider it. They need a draft. Do they need a tight end more, or do they need a edge rusher more? And I think the way that defense played towards the end of the season, you do need an edge rusher.
Yeah.
However, with Zach Robinson now being the new offensive head coach, or the OC, with Mike Evans leaving, as you mentioned before, I don't think signing Kate Otten is going to change a whole lot. So I don't think they can go wrong between Kenyon Sadiq or Akeem Mesidor. So I'll let you choose who you think.
I think in that case you would. I would see Kenyon Sadiq go joining in with the Bucks. Definitely, if they wanted to go 2 tight end set, Sadiq is like Sadiq's like one of the best. Is like the best one, and we was like number 7 pre-draft, number 17.
So taking him pretty high in terms of the rankings, but you can, as they always say, you could throw the rankings out the board because the teams have their own minds, right? So we're just gonna let that go. But the New York Jets are back on the board, and this is their the pick that they received from the Sauce Gardner trade.
Yep.
They did already pick Bailey and with the 2nd overall pick. Now they have the 16. They need a wide receiver, and I think they're going to go. I think it's Omar Cooper.
Oh wow! Wide receivers are going that early. Yep.
I think this is.
I think they do that. Like, as a matter of fact, let me pull up the Jets wide receivers.
Literally just Garrett Wilson. And just fun fact, the Philadelphia Eagles really, really, really want to trade. They're willing to give up a 1st and a 3rd for this pick. I'm wondering what player is it going to take for them to stop trying to trade, and I think it might be Monroe Freeling, but let's see. Or Dylan.
No, I would say Keldrick Falk or
Keldrick Falk. Yeah.
I mean, a Messidor or Hell. Omar Cooper Jr. Or Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I know they brought those guys in for their top 30 visits, but if you look at the Jets, they have Garrett Wilson, Adonai Mitchell, Arian Smith, Irvin Charles, Jamal Pritchett. Not that much. So you could go wide receiver there. I would not be shocked with an Omar Cooper pick up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Omar Cooper. And now the Detroit Lions.
Tackle.
Go. I think they're going Monroe Freeling. I don't think they even bat an eye.
Nah. I mean, you could go Monroe Freeling or Caden Proctor. I would not mind at all. Monroe Freeling has like a better length. So, I mean, can you check his measurables on this one?
Yeah.
He suffered that nagging injury. That's his only issue.
That's the only thing. Yeah.
He's good at left tackle, and he also shows he can do like multiple positions. So, I think in that case, you could go with Monroe Freeling on this one.
Who's the Jets QB?
Jets QB?
Is it still Justin Fields?
No,
they let Justin Fields go.
No, it's Geno Smith, Brady Cook, and Bailey Zappi.
Geno Smith, yeah. No, the reason I asked that is because NFL mock draft believed that the Jets would pick Ty Simpson with the 16th overall pick.
I saw that. It's like, why the fuck would you do that? I'm sorry. That would be a big mistake. You do Ty Simpson, he's round 2 and round 3 at best.
He's a day 2, day 3 guy, and
it's like
you got to let him time. You're putting way too much pressure on a kid that's barely started by picking him 16th overall. That's not a smart idea.
Yeah.
The Lions, I mean, I could see them go Monroe Freeling or Caden Proctor.
Either way,
you do know Alabama players. They build good offensive tackles.
Landon Dickerson.
So let's go. Let's go, Caden Proctor.
Yeah, I like that move.
Wow, he was pre-draft number 19. So.
Ooh, all the way. That's fine. Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings. They need safety. They need interior offensive line. I mean, what to help out with JJ McCarthy? Like, this is
JJ McCarthy or Kyler Murray. So right, we don't know who is going to be the quarterback. It's going to be I think that's going to be one of the fun quarterback battles that we're going to see this year. Right. But with losing their safety in God, I'm blanking his name. Harrison Smith. I think you got to go Dylan
Thieneman.
I think you got to rebuild that defense.
Dude,
you got to bring back a safety.
You need it. I think it'd be good.
And Brian Flores is still the DC there, so
yeah. I mean, we saw what Dylan
and it is what they slotted him to go at. So
perfect.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what happens.
Now back to the Panthers. They need safety help.
They need safety help. And remember, obviously, they've been trying to trade up. I would believe that they've been trying to get Caleb Downs in our virtual life that we have going on here.
It was the best one available?
But Emmanuel McNeil Warren, I think, from Toledo.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I think that has to be your best bet. So,
or while I know, oh, never mind. I was gonna say a fun pick. Just thinking about this, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't pick Kenyon Sadiq, I think he'd be a really fun pick for the Panthers.
He would actually fit well with the Panthers.
And this would be all in on Bryson's 5th-year option. Hey man, you really believe? Are you the future? Here are a bunch of pieces. Let's go win. That would be really fun, but obviously it's not in this case. We also have a trade coming in from the Vegas Raiders, willing to give up a 2-3-4 for number 19. I don't think they're going to do that for this year. So who do you think, or what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, from what I've read from Mr. Mel Kiper, he does say Emmanuel McNeil Warren. It makes sense if the Panthers do not. I mean, if Kenyon Sadiq does not fall to the Bucs, he goes at 19 easily. I think and knowing and I would say this. I mean, also you could go with offensive tackle to help out Bryce Young because
I was about to say Monroe Freeling is just sitting there and he's falling. right
Yeah.
now.
And Blake Miller and Caleb Lomu. Caleb Lomu has been like, I've heard like a lot of good things, but like after watching his tape against Texas Tech, Lomu like has like faltered.
I mean,
So
if we quickly look at the safety thing,
AJ Halsey,
there's not a lot of top picks that you can make when you consider offensive tackle.
you
There's a
have.
little bit more depth in there.
I would not mind Monroe Freeling in this case. I think it would. I think it would.
Let's take the top player, and he was ranked number 12, so they got an awesome player for that spot. Now, the Cleveland Browns, remember they did trade the number 6 pick from the Cowboys to the Cowboys, and this is now the Packers' original pick that was traded to the Cowboys for Micah Parsons.
They need wide receiver.
Concepcion, baby. Let's do it. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah, let's do it. This for you Aggies fans.
He said that he's going to be the best receiver on the draft. I think that's just going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, so I love it. Now the Pittsburgh's 3 trade requests for the Steelers.
Mel Kiper actually has Denzel Boston from Washington going to
what?
The Browns at that pick.
He's like they need like someone to like opposite of Jerry Jeudy. Like Denzel Boston, 6'4", 209 pounds, 62 receptions, 881 yards, 11 touchdowns, 14.2 average yards per game. I mean, it could. I think
my other thought here though is, do you see any team on this board up until round 20 or pick 24 that needs a receiver? No.
Honestly, no.
Other than the Chargers, probably.
Chargers need wide receiver.
So if I were to undo this real quick.
Go ahead.
Right. Do you think they try to wait for Concepcion at 24 and get more value and potentially go for receiver? Potentially get someone else at that pick?
That is a very good pick. That's a very good idea. I could see that happening. I could see like the Browns getting a little bit more and say, either Concepcion falls or they could get someone like a Denzel Boston. Like either one of those two would be good.
And let's just see, someone is willing to trade. The Saints want to jump back into the first round. And they're willing to give up a 2-4 in next year's first round. If I'm the Browns, I don't think you give up a thought. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're going to be picking 3 times in a draft, in a very nice draft. I think you don't trade anyone. They did pick offensive tackle earlier with Spencer Fano. Do you try to go to grab a DB from or a safety with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren sitting there? Build that defense, obviously around
like pair them up with
defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Should we try that? Or what are you thinking?
But they don't have Jim Schwartz anymore to coach on defense, so it's
They don't. So it's interesting.
And of course, we don't know what the hell's happening with Myles Garrett. So did they draft his replacement?
I don't think Myles Garrett's leaving, but
yeah.
Or do you think they go defensive tackle or defensive line and get Caleb Banks?
Caleb Banks would be a good pickup for them.
But he has battled lower body injuries.
Banks would be a day 2. Caleb Banks would be a day 2 at best. High day 2 pick.
But if healthy, he's solid. So
100%.
Do you think they go Keldrick Falk to pair on the other side, or Akeem Mesidor to pair on the other side of Myles Garrett?
Akeem Mesidor and Myles Garrett would look nice. But
you think they're going to go receiver and wait for the 24 to pick another defensive player?
I think they do that. I think they can. I think they can sit tight and then just stick with Concepcion. So,
all right, the Steelers.
Okay, they need QB.
A potential trade is the Chicago Bears want to jump up 4 picks and are willing to give up a 3rd-round pick for this pick.
They need someone to protect Aaron Rodgers. That O-line was mid. And Mike McCarthy loves an O-line.
Is Aaron Rodgers coming back, though? We don't know.
That is true. Or they say, they just go say, hey, let's go get Ty Simpson. That would be fun.
They could have gotten Shador last year, but they didn't want to.
Yeah.
I think you either go, which is really fun, which is really interesting to look here. Just taking a step back, I think we have Ioane going to the Ravens. A lot of Mel Kiper actually has a little bit of a shift, but he's got Spencer Fano going to the Ravens because I think he has Caden Proctor he's got Caden Proctor going to the Browns. He's got Fano going to the Ravens, which he says would leave Ioane with the Steelers. But in the world that we live in right now,
yeah,
I think you take the top offensive tackle or offensive line, and I think that might be Blake Miller.
Yeah, Caleb Lomu has some good measurables, but I think like that one, the past couple of games, he did not perform well. So I'd like to give Blake Miller a pick up. That'd be good.
Yeah. And it's interesting. He ranked 24. So
almost. That's fine.
Your team, the Chargers. My bad. The Chargers. There are 4 trades for the Chargers.
Yep.
Quickly, just looking at it, the Titans want to jump back in, willing to give up a 2-3-5. The Giants want to jump back in, willing to give up a 2-4-6 and next year's 2. The Steelers want to literally pick next, and they're willing to give up their round 2 and next year's first. And the Detroit Lions want to jump back in and are willing to give up a 2-5 and next year's 1.
I mean,
the Chargers pick? Well, they need a lot of help. I think they need wide receiver help. They need safety help to pair back there with Derwin James.
Yeah.
They need a lot of help everywhere. But based on how that season ended, we know that they need help in the offensive line.
They need corner to pair up with Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Jerry McCoy's still sitting there. I would say you could do that, and then you can get like a good wide receiver in the second round. Like that, I think like Elijah Surratt or someone. Damn. Don't remember who.
Yeah. This will be really interesting. We also do know how much Jim Harbaugh loves defensive players. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to go defensive tackle.
Akeem Messer or Keldrick Falk, yeah.
Keldrick Falk. And with Keldrick Falk falling like this, I mean, would you be surprised?
I would not be surprised.
All right, let's do it.
Keldrick Falk, perfect. And now the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll let you run with it. But quickly, before you run with it,
there
are 3 trades because, the Eagles have been wanting to trade for so long, but now people want to trade with them. The Baltimore Ravens are willing to give up a 2-5 in next year's 1.
Howie wants it. Howie still wants it.
Pittsburgh Steelers are giving up a 2 in next year's 1, and the Cincinnati Bengals are willing to give up a 2-3-4.
No, Howie's not going to budge out of the first round. I think looking at this, you need help on edge and offensive line. Either one is perfectly okay, but knowing Howie Roseman, he will most likely drop. I mean, it's tough because if you're looking at the Eagles' edge depth, outside of Nolan Smith and Jennings Hunt, you have Arnold Ebiketie and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka. Who else? I mean, are you going to put Jahad Campbell as the edge on like some certain plays while he's playing outside next to Zach Bond? I don't know. And then, or you put Jeremiah Trotter Jr. there. And then on offensive tackle, it's clearly obvious that that Lane Johnson may be undecided on his first year. So I think it's hard because like you have and of course if you bring in Emmanuel McNeil Warren in as safety because Eagles need safety help. Guess he's college roommate. He was college teammates with Quinyon Mitchell back in Toledo. You build up that secondary and you get like Quintana and you can rebuild that no-fly zone. But knowing the Eagles, they're not going to draft a safety in the first round. They are going to go defense. They're going to go line. Knowing how he runs them very well.
I have another trade proposal for you.
Okay.
The Miami Dolphins would trade the 30th pick, which came from the Jalen Waddle trade, and the third pick for number 23. Or the Buffalo Bills want to trade up to 23, and they'll give you the 26, a round 4, and a round 5. Or in a round 6, sorry.
Ooh,
so the 26 for 6 from the Bills for the 23rd, or you get basically the 30th pick from the Dolphins.
Those are very good options. But knowing Howie, I think he's going to sit and I think
Arizona will give you a 2 and a 3 of this year. And remember, they pick very early in the 2. They're the second overall pick in the second round. So that's pretty much a first round pick. They're willing to give you a 2 and a 3 for that 23rd.
I could see that, but honestly, knowing this, I mean, like they could have gone Keldrick Falk initially, but with him being out, I think I have to give a small shout out to my to one of the guys from 4th and John, Luciano, aka Primo, who is a big Miami Hurricanes fan. So, in honor of him, you are going to pair him up at the edge side, get Akeem Mesidor in.
Let's do it. And I think something that is key to look here, I'm pretty sure the Eagles want Blake Miller. I wouldn't be surprised if with an offensive tackle, with them being very shoddy on that offensive line, they need to rebuild to come back to the last couple years that they've had with Saquon Barkley being there. I wouldn't be surprised. I know CBS has Max Acor going there. I might be butchering that name.
Yeah, and lo and behold, we have a surprise guest, Mr. John Placente. How you doing, man? Everything all good?
We do, yeah. Only a mild concussion, so we're chilling.
Hey, I'll feel better, man.
Rest up.
So
we'll give you a quick. Yeah, we'll give you a quick run through. We found a mock draft that actually did trade, so we've been doing a couple trades out here. Obviously, we know the number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, to the Raiders. We had David Bailey from Texas Tech go to the Jets. Arvil Reese going from Ohio State going to the Cardinals. A very fun pick. We said Jeremiah Love was going to go to the Titans. Pick the best player on the board. The Giants, we said, had honestly the best position because they had 3 Ohio State players they can go for: Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, or Carnell Tate. But we have Sonny Styles going to the Giants. Our first trade, thanks to yours truly, said that the Cowboys are going to give up the 12th pick and the 20th pick for Caleb Downs to the Browns, right? Then we said Carnell Tate would go to the Commanders. Reuben Bain would go to the Saints. As much as we hate them, Jordan Tyson goes to the Chiefs to rebuild their team. Mansour Delane goes to the Bengals. Francis Malgoa goes to the Dolphins. Spencer Fano goes to the Browns. Makai Lemon, literally the Rams are the luckiest team. They get another receiver.
Yep.
We have Ioane going to the Ravens. The Bucks taking Kenyon Sadiq. The Jets taking Omar Cooper. The Lions taking Caden Proctor. Vikings taking Dylan Thiemann. The Panthers taking Monroe Freeling. The Browns, because they got the Cowboys' 20th pick, take Casey Concepcion. Steelers take Blake Miller. Chargers take Keldrick Falk. And the Eagles take Akeem Mesidor. I know that was a lot, but what's your thoughts?
Y'all really didn't miss. I think Proctor went a little high. I see him as more like bottom 20 pick, but for what the Lions need, I think you can't really go wrong there. I mean, he's incredibly talented, big body dude, and that's exactly what they need. Yeah, there's only really like one thing, and it's just kind of me being like, I don't know, delusional, but I genuinely think the Raiders should trade down. They're not ready for a quarterback, and in a lot of my mock drafts, I have them trading down with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals taking Mendoza, just because I feel like the Cardinals are more QB ready. They have a little bit better of a team, and I think Mendoza really would develop well there. But other than that, yeah, no, this solid draft.
I mean, I don't knock you for that because I don't think the Raiders are anywhere close to contending, and I think the way the Raiders are built, they would destroy potentially Mendoza's career. However, I think with them picking up Kirk Cousins might alleviate that a little bit.
Yeah,
In terms of, I think Kirk Cousins wins you games that if you don't take Fernando Mendoza, that you won't get Arch Manning next year, right? I think Kirk Cousins wins you maybe 4 games, probably 3 or 4 games, barring any injury. So I think, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I think you also take you never let a QB go, right?
yeah,
So, but
yeah.
we're at the we're sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna add on to that. Yeah, I I do think that Mendoza is absolutely the right move there. This is just my draft, but honestly, I think the
Yeah.
Raiders, since they loaded so much up on defense and they don't have a pick later in the round, I think they would have really benefited going with a receiver here, just because of how in shambles that room is. So I think taking a guy like Carnell Tate really would help them out, especially considering it takes a while for receivers to even develop. Like they don't really start to get good until about year 3. And so I feel like taking a receiver and then taking a quarterback maybe next year, whether it's Arch Manning or not, would really help speed up the developmental process for both Carnell Tate and whoever they take a
Mhm.
quarterback.
No, that I don't disagree with you at all. Very viable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's my rate on the Raiders. Who we got next? Cleveland.
We got Cleveland. This is the pick from last year's draft where the Jags traded up for Travis Hunter and gave up this year's first round pick plus the last year's pick as well. So recapping, obviously we had the Browns obviously trading with the Cowboys, but they picked Spencer Fano, and then they took a wide receiver in Casey Concepcion. Me and Rakshak were debating this. Do you think, we didn't know if the Browns should take a defensive player on that 20th pick here, or like for Keldrick Falk or Akeem Mesidor, and wait for the receiver to drop, but we believe that they would just take the receiver because they need it. But who do you think is going to go 24?
24. I agree with the KC Concepcion pick, especially considering the Chargers may do something stupid and take him. Could they have waited and maybe gotten him? Yeah, but I think him at 20 is a great pick. In terms of 24, I think Jermon McCoy is kind of a slam dunk pick here. I feel like he should have gone a little bit higher, but I think you can't really go wrong with him or even Emmanuel McNeil Warren, because they do need a lot of help in the secondary. So I think one of those two guys. But I think Jermon McCoy is the consensus pick here.
Yeah, I think Jamal McCoy works well because you need someone. I mean, Greg Newsome's already is on one side. I don't know who the other corner is for Cleveland. You need a shore up on corner on this one. So Gerald McCoy is your best part.
Yeah, and so a fun little nugget here. So I initially had the Cowboys trading the 12th and the 20th for Caleb Downs. NFL actually has the Browns keeping that 6th pick and the Cowboys jumping to number 20 and giving up the 24th, or sorry, the Browns jumping to 20, taking the Cowboys pick, and then the Cowboys picking 24th, but we're going to ignore that. But I agree with you guys. I think it's between McCoy or McNeil Warren. So, John, I'll let you choose. Who do you think they're going to take?
McCoy.
All right. And there are 6, 7 more picks left. So the Bears are up with the 25th pick. There are 2 trade requests. So the system automatically just, I guess, randomly generates trades. But the Dolphins are willing to give up the 30th pick, which came from the Jalen Waddle trade, a 3rd and a 7th for the 25th pick. And Tennessee wants to jump back into the first round. They're going to give up a 2nd and a 3rd for the 25th pick. Do you think the Bears would consider trading out of the first round with Tennessee or move down 5 picks with the Dolphins?
I think if they were to take any trade, I think they would trade with the Dolphins just because, I mean, I don't think a high 2nd is really going to intrigue them, especially even if you throw in that 3rd round pick. But I honestly think they stick and pick here. Just because Peter Woods is still on the board, or not still on the board, but Peter Woods is there, and you can't really guarantee that he's going to fall if you move back to the 2nd round. And granted, there are some good D tackles that could go in the that'll go in the 2nd round, but I think Peter Woods is probably the best pick available here. If not him, probably Cassius Howell.
What do you think about Zion Young from Missouri pairing up with Montez Sweat?
I like it. I think it's a very
or
good...
TJ Parker from Clemson.
TJ Parker, I think, would be a little bit better in this scenario just because I feel like he's a little bit faster and they need some speed off the edge because they really weren't getting that much in terms of fast break off the defensive line last year.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Sorry. But yeah, no, I think if you're going to go edge here, I think you would probably go with TJ Parker just because he's a little bit bigger. Like I said, Cassius Howell would also be a pretty good pick here, even though I really see him going probably early to mid 2nd round, so it'd be a little bit of a reach. But yeah, the main one I'm looking at here is Peter Woods.
Yeah, and Rakshak, I don't know if you heard me say earlier, but the Bears did get 2 trade offers. The Miami Dolphins are willing to trade up for that using that Denver pick and a 3rd and a 7th for the 25th, and Tennessee would fall back, the Bears would trade out of the first round, get a 2nd and a 3rd, and the Titans would jump back in. But John believes that, and I agree with him, that the Bears are going to stay put and pick.
Yeah, I think
as enticing as that Miami trade is, I mean, I'm willing to even have this conversation if we want to just play fun and decide that they're going to trade. But I'll let you guys 2 decide if you think that if you want to play fun or if we want the Bears to pick.
I think. No, go ahead.
No, sorry, go ahead. I was just ranting, so go ahead.
It's fine. I was thinking like as much as I would like. As much as we like to go and explore this one, I still think that the Bears are going to pick. They're going to stay and pick for this one.
All right. So we're debating between Peter Woods and TJ Parker, a running mate with Montez Sweat and Parker, or, and obviously Peter Woods plays defensive line.
Wait, Cassius Howell's still there?
Cassius Howell is still there.
Oh my God. I was literally debating this, like, with a couple of Eagles guys, like if had Akeem Mesidor been taken early, Cassius Howell or Keldrick Falk would have been our best choices. Cassius Howell is slightly better during his years at Texas in this season at Texas A&M, but TJ Parker, can we see what he did, like his description?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, there's one thing to remember. Clemson, the whole team was pretty ass last year. So
yeah,
from past tape, Parker has been better. I think you looking at last year's season is kind of I think it's really hard to rate someone when the whole team's completely garbage. But yeah, I'll let you guys choose who you think this is going to be.
It would also really help to get all offensive line because I mean Caleb Lomo is dropping for the right reasons though.
But they already have offensive line.
Yeah,
think,
they just
they
spent
got
a
Joe
lot of money.
Tooney. They spent a lot of money. They've invested in that. We saw that last year.
Oh,
No one could touch Caleb Williams last year. So, but the problem is that no one on that team could pressure Matt Stafford in that playoff game.
Yeah.
Right.
So it could be TJ Parker or Caleb Lomo then.
Yeah.
If we're going between Cassius Howell or Caden McDonald's still there.
Yeah, I don't really see it with Caden McDonald. I mean, yes, he was very good with Ohio State, but the thing with him is he is very raw talent.
Yeah.
And so he would need to go to a team that probably, I mean, they don't really need a D tackle, but a team like San Francisco who's good at developing the D line, or someone like Houston, even though they kind of need D line, but not really, because they just didn't they just sign somebody for the D line, or did they get rid of somebody? I can't remember.
The Bears?
No, the Texans. I was talking. I'm sorry. I'm completely going off track.
No, but the Texans obviously just paid Will Anderson Jr. big time money. So
yeah, but I thought they either signed or got rid of a D tackle. I can't remember which one, but
they did. Just quickly talking about that. Obviously, they did sign Reed. They signed Reed Blankenship. They got Logan Hall, a defensive end. They also did get Dominique Robinson from the Bears, a defensive end. So those are three defensive moves they've made.
Yeah. But yeah, just he would need to go to someone like that to just really develop his talent. But in terms of this pick right now, if we're looking between TJ Parker and Caleb Lomu, I'd say TJ Parker all day.
Yeah, for me, it's between TJ Parker and Peter Woods. I think that is more of a conversation in my mind versus Caleb Lomu, considering how much the Bears have already invested in the offensive line. But do you want to go TJ Parker?
Yeah, I would say TJ Parker.
TJ Parker.
Rakshak.
Yeah, I think TJ Parker would go well. Cassius Howell, I think him dropping is it's definitely showing a bit of a concern though, but we can go with that.
All right. So the Buffalo Bills are on the board. There is one trade request. The team that beat their ass wants to jump back into the first round and is willing to give up a second and next year's first. But I don't think the Bills are going to trade, and I think they need a receiver. Obviously, they traded for DJ Moore. They still have what's his name, Khalil Shakir. They obviously have Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox on the team.
I just realized one more thing. They don't have an edge. Joey Bosa's gone. AJ Epinesa, we don't know where. He's a free agent, so they need someone to help. I don't know how Gregory Rousseau, if he's still on the team.
No, and that's why I am debating between Denzel Boston giving them a receiver for Josh Allen, because obviously we know how problematic the last couple of years have been with no receivers, but also Cassius Howell is right there for an edge pressure. I mean, do you just take the plunge and go for it?
I think you go Cassius Howell. I mean, looking at their edges, they have Greg Rousseau. They added Bradley Chubb. They also have their edges with Landon Jackson, AJ Epinesa, and Javon Solomon. And they were the 20th ranked sack total. I think you get someone like Cassius Howell, or you wait later on and get someone like Zion Young. That would be your best bet. But Cassius Howell is right there for the taking. Get an edge to help him out, to help out with that rotation.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. I also think Cassius Howell has been very overlooked. To me, I think he's a mid-first round talent. And he's like I said, he's been very overlooked. And yeah, Buffalo absolutely is desperate for an edge rusher, and I think this is a perfect fit.
Yeah, I also I was looking back at Mel Kiper. He actually has Peter Woods, defensive line, going to the Chargers, and has Keldrick Falk dropping to the Bills. Just an
Wow.
interesting thought. But obviously, in this world, we don't have that. So I think Cassius Howell. I think they go edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, the San Francisco 49ers.
They need O-line.
I was going to say, I think it's Caleb Loma with where Trent Williams is. You have no idea. They need protection, that offensive line. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all in agreement with that. Texans.
This is interesting.
Max Ianacor. They do need O-line. Their defensive line depth. Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Logan Hall. They could shore up that interior and call it.
I was going to say, I think they could do Caden McDonald, like what John said earlier. This is a perfect player for like he said, he's a project. Ryan. He's a project. Very, very. I don't want to call him rusty, but yeah, he's a project. Honestly, I think he'll work his way up, and being behind players like Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. will give him the ability to perfect his skills and obviously become a better asset maybe in year 2 or 3. I think you could go Caden McDonald too. I mean, also wide receiver. Do we know if Tank Dell's coming back? Like
Tank Dell,
he's supposed to be back, right?
He should be back.
Yeah, I heard if anything mid-season at the latest, but I think he was 50-50 to start week 1.
Okay. So who are their other receivers then? It's just Nico Collins and
Christian Kirk.
Well, they got Kirk. They just drafted Jaden Knoll and Jalen Higgins.
Oh, Jalen Higgins. That's who. Sorry, I was. Oh, but Christian Kirk is on the 49ers, by the way. He left. But yeah, so it's Higgins. So I don't think they go Denzel Boston. I think do you take the best player on the board, maybe pair McNeil Warren with Petrie? But they also have Petrie Singletary plays DB. So I mean, would you pair someone out with
they don't
Petrie?
need safety at the moment. I mean, they just got Reed Blankenship and Kalen Bullock.
Oh, they had Reed Blankenship. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think their secondary is too stacked to waste a first-round pick on a secondary.
I think you've shored up the defensive line. I mean, Will Anderson, Tommy Togiai, Sheldon Rankin, Daniil Hunter. I still think like you could do well, and Aziz Al-Shaair is like he's questionable at best, so maybe you just stay.
Another, I think, a fun idea, and I know we're running out of time, but I think the Texans are also a prime candidate to potentially drop down and get more assets, and I wouldn't be shocked if they tried to trade down to the Jets for the 33rd pick, which is basically the first-round pick of the second round. And that potentially could allow you to get Caden McDonald at a more valuable pick, right? More rated pick rather than picking him at 28. Do you think that they do a trade like that?
That's very enticing.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, looking at these other players' other teams' needs, a lot of them already have like a decent D tackle. Except for Miami, but I mean they don't really have decent anything right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think this would be a smart move to trade back and roll the dice on Caden McDonald, because even if you don't get him, you still got Caleb Banks down there. You still got
you got Zion Young who's still there. There's still some defensive players that's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. A trade has occurred. The Jets have now jumped back up. Do they take Ty Simpson with this pick?
Oh my God! If they take Ty Simpson, it's gonna.
Well, see, I actually don't think that's a terrible pick, especially considering Miami may go quarterback here. I mean, it's not smart for them to, but they're not really that smart of a franchise. So I think they'll see Ty Simpson falling late first round and jump at the gun at him, but not if the Jets come in and take him. And I think honestly, it's a decent scenario. I mean, I know it's not the most ideal, but I think Ty Simpson would be a good pick here.
And I don't think it's a bad idea to think about that, because if, like you just said, the Jets are worried about the Dolphins picking him up, you would want to jump on top, right? You would want to take that guy if you really believe in him. And so I wouldn't be shocked if they do this one.
I would
do
not.
Ty Simpson here.
I think Ty Simpson would definitely work out with them.
But
because they do need a QB. They do need a QB, but
I will say personally for me, I would take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, but for the team need, I think they take Ty Simpson.
Yeah, are we going off what we think will happen or what we think should happen?
I think combination of both.
Okay. Then yeah, I think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is the smartest pick here for them. Is there a strong possibility they could go Ty Simpson? Yes, but I think Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, Jesus, is the best option.
Another thing to think about is, do the Jets want to wait to the 44th pick to get Ty Simpson? That means you're banking on the Cardinals potentially not taking him. And no one else other than if you really think the Browns are going to need a quarterback. Do you think that they might take the best player or just go ahead and be like, QB it is, I'm going to do it?
I mean, honestly, I think the Cardinals are more focused on resetting outside of the QB position and kind of just building up a team, because I think they learned their lesson with Kyler Murray and not putting a decent team around him. So I honestly think them waiting is not a bad idea at all, especially considering it's kind of the perfect storm because all these teams already have a QB except for Arizona and maybe Cleveland, but I think they're going to stick with Shedeur, so it's a moot point.
Do we want to do what we think is best for the team right now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then.
I think that's McNeil-Warren then, right? That's the best for the team. All right, the Kansas City Chiefs are back on the board. This was part of the Trent McDuffie trade. We had them picking Jordan Tyson with the 9th overall pick. So what do you think happens here?
They need help on the corner side. They literally gave away Trent McDuffie. Easiest choice, get Avion Terrell.
Yeah, I agree there. There's not really anything else that, I mean, maybe
Chris Johnson?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Maybe Chris Johnson, but I think Avion Terrell, because, like, Chris Johnson's another one that's, like, he needs to develop. Plus, I'm kind of hoping he falls to Green Bay, but that's a biased thing. But I don't think Chris Johnson's a bad pick here necessarily, but with Avion Terrell on the board, I think that's your go-to.
Yeah, and since I guess the Packers really don't want to pick in the first round because they don't want to trade, but let's go Avion Terrell.
All
right, the Dolphins are back on the board. This is the
quick.
Jalen Waddle trade.
Wide receiver, they got to go.
I think they go Denzel Boston. I think this is a no-brainer.
Denzel Boston, easy.
Yeah.
Best one available. Go with it.
Apparently, Howie really wants to trade. He wants to give him a 2, 3, 4 to jump back up.
Wow.
If it's like they're gonna give away AJ Brown to the freaking Dolphins after all this shit, then that would be.
Who knows? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, no, it's a strong possibility.
I mean, no chance of the Patriots after all that Diana Rossini stuff, though. But yeah. Moving on.
The New England Patriots.
O-line. They need O-line help. Will Campbell, like he was playing injured, but he was ass in the postseason, and we saw that happen. Max Iannacore is your best available. He has the length and he has the size, and he could play. He's a better outside. Will Campbell, short arms. I think you could like try and put him in guard.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, they don't really need defense here. So yeah, I think O tackle's the best bet here.
I'm kind of on the fence though, because I think obviously if this draft were to go as what some people believe, like some people believe Akeem Mesidor is going to be available at this time. So if Akeem Mesidor is available, I think the smartest idea would take the best player on the board and take Mesidor, right? But I'm kind of debating between putting a defensive like a Caleb Banks, or Caden McDonald, or Peter Wood, sorry, to shore up that defensive line, because we saw the way Kenneth Walker ran in the Super Bowl run, and pair up with Milton Williams.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something to look at, but I think with how much Drake May was pressured last season, and they really don't want to run the risk of him getting hurt, I think their number one goal in this draft is going to be protect him, especially considering how well he played last year, and they kind of had that clarifying moment that, like, okay, this is our guy. What are we going to do to help him out?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I think you can definitely look at D tackle, but I think offensive line should be the pick here.
Okay, and just because we're playing on, the Browns want to jump back for their fourth first-round pick of this draft and is willing to give up the 39th, a fourth rounder, and a fifth rounder. Did the Patriots stay put, or do you think they're going to trade?
I think they stay, and I still think they did try and grab an O-line, Maxiana Cora. Right. That's my take.
Yeah, I also think that. I mean, it's definitely something to look at, especially considering a guy like Emmanuel Prognon's down there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Hanacor is the best pick here.
And now the Super Bowl winning Seattle Seahawks, with a 32nd pick. Obviously, we saw a big move that happened this year was the Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker leaving to the Kansas City Chiefs. So obviously they don't have a running back. Zach Charbonnet is torn ACL, so we don't know what's going to happen there. I think the Seattle Seahawks currently constructed, I know they lost a lot, but they could be a candidate to move down, in my opinion. But we can look at that if you want to consider that. But we could talk about the Seahawks right now if they were to pick here.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I absolutely agree with them moving down, especially considering if they can, like, there's a lot of good running backs that are going to fall late second, early third. And honestly, I think them getting a project running back with, especially considering they had Charbonnet and how well he ran last year, I think they can get a project guy like Katron Allen or Nick Singleton from Penn State and just try to work with that. If I were to pick here, I'd probably say Colton Hood, just because he's a guy on my board that is another overlooked talent, but the cornerback class is pretty good this year, so I can see why he's down there.
I agree, and plus they did lose Reek Woolen, but although
they lost Reek Woolen and they lost Bryant as well.
Yeah, so they could sit back and say, okay, we got Colton Wood and Chris Johnson. Either one of those two would work, although they would be like a high second, low first. So they're at a prime position, and I would try and lean a little bit more with Colton Hood. I know Chris Johnson had an okay thing at the combine at the Senior Bowl, but Colton Hood's a bit more impressive.
So I'm going to throw out this little, because I mentioned this earlier about trading down. What if, and again, we don't know what all the picks would be, but let's just say it's a 1:1.
Yep.
Do you think the Seattle Seahawks would consider trading down to the 34th pick and the Cardinals jumping back up to get their quarterback and Ty Simpson, or get a defensive line in Peter Woods?
Ooh. Peter Woods.
Yeah, I think if they're going to trade up, they're going to go Peter Woods. Especially considering if they were going to move up, it wouldn't really make much sense because, I mean, neither of those teams really need a quarterback unless you want to, like, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless you want to like guarantee it. But yeah, honestly, if they swap with the Cardinals, I don't think that's a terrible idea, especially considering Jets and Texans don't need secondary, so Colton Hood will most likely fall to the early second.
Let's just play for fun. But let's say the Cardinals did that. So what do you think the Seahawks did that? Do we think that they're going to take Peter Woods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the first round, but we do have two teams that didn't pick here. If you want to bleed over for the Houston Texans, do you think they're going to take Caden McDonald?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they go K McDonald, and it makes sense.
What about the Seahawks?
And the Seahawks they got value and they got Colton Hood. So
Colton Hood's your best bet. So
there's pretty much your first round.
Yep. So with that, with this concludes the first round mock draft. So with that, let's do a quick recap. The Raiders stayed and kept with Fernando Mendoza. Number 2, David Bailey from Texas Tech joins the Jets. Number 3, the Cardinals go with Arvo Reese, outside linebacker from Ohio State. Number 4, the Titans stay very interested, and they keep with Jeremiah Love as running back. Number 5, the Giants stick with Sonny Styles as linebacker. They like the dude. They want to rebuild that defense for John Harbaugh. Then number 6, the Cowboys make a trade with the Browns, and they get their future safety, Caleb Downs. The Commanders go wide receiver, and to pair with Debo Samuel decides to stay, and Scary Terry, they go with Carnell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State. Number 8, the Saints go edge for Ruben Bain from Miami. Number 9, the Chiefs take a stab and get the first to get the number 2 or the number 3 wide receiver based on what your preferences are. Jordan Tyson. Number 10, the Bengals get a corner in Mansour Delane, corner from LSU. Number 11, the Dolphins focus on the edge and get on the offensive line. It's so late. Francis Malgoa from Miami, so he stays in Miami. Number 12, the trade that the Browns received from the Cowboys. They get offensive tackle Spencer Fano. Number 13, the Rams do nothing, and they still get Mekhi Lemon, another receiver to pair off with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Number 14, the Ravens get interior offensive line help, and they get Olai Vavega Ioane. Again, apologies for messing up the names. Number 15, the Bucks stay, and they get tight end Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. Number 16, they get Geno Smith gets a target, a good wide receiver, and Omar Cooper Jr. to pair along with Garrett Wilson for the Jets. Number 17, offensive line help arrives to the Lions in the form of Caden Proctor. Number 18, Dylan Tiananmen, safety, joins the Vikings. Number 19, Monroe Freeling from Georgia, offensive tackle, helps the Panthers offensive line at number 19. Number 20, the Browns get a wide receiver, Casey Concepcion from the Texas A&M University. Number 21, the Steelers stay, and they get offensive tackle Blake Miller to fix that offensive line. Number 22, the Chargers focus on defense, and they get Keldrick Falk from Auburn, edge. Crimson Tide, don't come at me on this one. I know I messed up. Number 23, the Philadelphia Eagles stay put. They do not trade out. They do not trade forward, but they get an edge in Akeem Mesidor. Number 2 from Miami. Number 24, the Cleveland Browns get Jermod McCoy, cornerback from Tennessee at 24. 25, the Bears get TJ Parker, edge from Clemson. Number 26, the Buffalo Bills get edge help in Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. Number 27, the Niners finally get offensive line help in the form of Caleb Lomu from Utah. Number 28, the Jets focus on defense, and they they have it delivered in the form of Emmanuel McNeil Lawrence, safety from Toledo after a trade with the Houston Texans. Number 29, the Kansas City Chiefs finally get the Trent McDuffie replacement in cornerback Avion Terrell from Clemson. Number 30, the Miami Dolphins finally get wide receiver to address the Jalen Waddle after the Jalen Waddle trade. They get Denzel Boston, wide receiver from UW, Washington. Number 31, the Patriots get offensive line help after that brutal showing in the playoffs of helping Drake May. They get Max Ianacor, offensive tackle from Arizona State. Number 32, the Seahawks make a trade with their in-division rivals, the Cardinals, and the Cardinals get defensive line Peter Woods from Clemson. And 33 in the second round, the Texans, after trading with the Jets for 28, at 33, the Texans get defensive line help in Caden McDonald from Ohio State. And 34, the Seahawks get corner Colton Hood after a trade with the Cardinals at number 32. And with this being said, this concludes season 5, episode 4. Season 5, episode 3 of the NFL Masala podcast. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and on our following platforms: Google, Spotify, Podcast, and YouTube, Apple, and YouTube, which is at NFL Masala. And you can make sure, and for that YouTube, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for more notifications. We're also on our social media platforms, Twitter/X, Instagram, and Threads at NFL Masala 2022. That is all lowercase at NFL Masala 2022. I also want to thank the following guests: Abishek Ramani and John Placente. Abishek and John, where can we find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram, Abishek_Romani, or Twitter at Shek the Shrek.
You can find me on Instagram at jplacente_2812 or on Twitter at GasStationMel. Yeah.
And with this said, thank you so much, guys, for joining in. And any final sports cheers that you got, Abhishek and John?
No, all I'm gonna say is, John, sorry you can't pick in the first round because you got a player that tore his ACL.
Sorry you keep picking your first round because you got your playing ACL. That's how I feel about that. We'll still get Chris Johnson. He'll magically fall to us, and it'll be okay.
If he does, that's awesome. If he does, that would work out great for y'all because y'all pick what end of the second, close to
52.
52. So
midway.
I
wouldn't be surprised if they trade up if they really, really, really want to get him. Yeah. But we'll have to see.
I can't wait for the draft. And of course, from my end, fly Eagles, fly. Take care and have a good night. Peace.